Thank you. How are you guys doing today? So before I say anything, I know a lot of people have been asking why am I wearing pink native. So I'm going for a movie called Barbie. I think it's Barbie premiere today. So I thought to at least leave my laptop for one. So I just want to advise the tech bros and techies. I know you have to code, but once in a while, just take a break. So, as he has said, my name is Ifeanyi Olabode. I am the business development manager for Maplerad. And I joined Fintech about 3 years ago, and I was working in a traditional bank. And when I joined, please can you put up the slide? So when I joined, a lot of people ask, why are you leaving banking? You just got promoted, you are doing so well. And, it was something struck me. Basically, I understood that the fintech are solving real problems, yeah? For instance, we have about arguably 1.4 billion people in Africa, yes, as we speak, and about 60% of those people are unbanked. And to even start with, the 40% that are currently using banking services, majority of them are underbanked. By underbanked, I mean you are probably using an app to do your local transfers, for instance. There's so much more you can do with banking, so much more. And that is exactly what we are doing at Maplerad. And I still see people in 2023, really, on Twitter. I'm sure you must have seen it too. Who is going to UK next week, please? Can I send something to you to send somebody in the UK? Who is going to Ghana tomorrow? WhatsApp status, Twitter, people still post these things, yeah? And there's a lot of work that still needs to be done. And that is where Maplerad is coming in. For instance, last year alone, we had about $4.3 billion in remittance from US Africans to Africa in Nigeria only. So that means that there's a lot that can still be done because this percentage that I just scored, this amount that I just scored, is a fraction of the real value. Most people still do cash transactions from Nigeria to other countries in Africa, for instance, and most people still beg people to help them send cash from US down to Africa. For instance, people would give dollar. Oh, when you get to Nigeria, let me give my grandma these things. I'm sure we are all aware of these things. So there's so much more we can do, and that is the bedrock of what Maplerad is doing. So at Maplerad, we are a financial infrastructure provider. We understand the work that needs to be done in Africa generally. We understand that there's so much more that we can still do in Africa. We understand that there are so many people that still need to be banked. A case study is when the CBN cashless policy thing happened earlier this year. A lot of people prior to that time would say, oh my God, there are a lot of fintechs, there's still so much more because cash is still king. Even the banked people still rely on cash for some transactions. Why do you need cash to pay your bills? Why do you need to walk down somewhere to pay your NEPA bill? Why do you still need to give out cash? And the beautiful thing about it, or the implication of it, is that most people don't understand why we need to move away from cash. I'll give you an example. If you keep using cash, your financial records will not be complete, will not be updated. Most of your transactions will be recorded as cash, and cash cannot be recorded. So it will come to a time where you would need to have a credit score. It's come to a time where your business would probably want a loan somewhere. It's come to a time where you would need to make some business decisions, and they would ask for your statement, let's see your records, because you've used cash all along the line. We are unable to track those records. And these implications affect future decisions, affect your future endeavor. So it is important that we move totally away from cash. And please, next slide. At Maplerad, we have been able to provide infrastructure for startups. Currently, we are issuing 68% of the virtual USD cards you have in Nigeria as we speak. We are pushing boundaries. We are ensuring that startups don't need to bother on, how do I start building this from scratch? So we've built basically everything, anything you want to mention when it comes to the fintech in Nigeria and Africa as a whole. So as a startup, you basically don't need to start all over. we've gone beyond that stage. So what we are currently doing is we are focusing on innovation, and it has proven over time because we've been able to increase revenue by 25% for businesses that have registered with us over time for the past 1 year. Of course, also increased customer retention by 62%. Next slide, please. And this is possible because businesses are beginning to focus more on innovation. For instance, if you want a virtual USD card for your startup, for instance, all you need to do is plug into our APIs. You don't necessarily need to build all of that from scratch. So you focus more on the business side of things, focus more on customer acquisition, focus more on ensuring that you give quality customer service. I'm sure we all know the importance of customer experience when it comes to fintech. That's one of the pain points that we currently have. So we are taking out the burden of building some of this infrastructure from fintechs. And I'm super excited that as we speak, as I said previously, we have partnered with more than 1,000 fintechs in Ghana and Nigeria. As we speak, we currently have 150 partners, fintechs in Cameroon. We currently have more than 80 in Kenya, and we are building non-stop, really. So we are encouraging startups to keep focusing on innovation. These things have been built. This infrastructure can be provided by Maplerad. Let me show you some of the products we have. Next slide, please. All right. So talking about the product, as I said, we have virtual cards, and these virtual cards can be used on all platforms. So we have Visa and Master. These are infrastructure. You just need to plug into our API as a startup or as a fintech, and these products can be provided to your end users as a startup. So if you are thinking of owning any of this or introducing any of these products to your business, all you need to do is just visit maplerad.com and sign up, and we'll take you through the onboarding process. We also do have account creation, account services, where we are able to give your end users account. What we do, why we have been able to penetrate the market and gotten 68% market share in the short time, two major reasons. First of all, we have been able to reduce fees, especially when it comes to the cross-border transfer services. So if you recall, previously, when you want to do transfer from Europe and US down to Nigeria, your charges is as high as 9%, 9-10%. But at Maplerad, we've slashed that drastically to about 1%, 1.5% in transacting between African countries and US. It's just amazing. And we have also been able to slash the turnover time. It takes 48 hours, even more, to even do transactions from the traditional bank from an African country to United States. You would have to wait for days. But at Maplerad, we are initiating and completing each transaction in split seconds. So you can do your transaction from Nigeria here to someone in US, or from someone in US down to your Maplerad account in split seconds with minimal cost. So it's just beautiful what we are able to do. We also do have multi-currency wallet. So if you plug into our API, your users would have close to 20 wallets in Africa. We do have, for instance, ZAF, Ghana cedis, Kenya, and the rest. So these are some of the products. I would encourage you to visit the website to see more of our products. You can, of course, collection, bills payment as well. I mean, your users will be able to send airtime to their friends in African countries, even when they're on their bed in Nigeria. Yeah. So you can literally transfer money to someone in Ghana right on your bed. Our multi-currency wallet, as I said, 20 countries in Africa, including United States, allow you to do transaction from the comfort of your home. You can do transfers to someone in Cameroon. I've never been to Cameroon, but I've done 3 transactions to people in Cameroon because I use Maplerad infrastructure. Next slide, please. All right, so these are some of the features of the products we have. So your card can warehouse more than 100,000 USD. It is impressive to mention that most of the Starlinks bought in Nigeria was initiated by our card. And as I said, we are an infrastructure provider, so most of the apps that you use, the cards are powered by us. I mean, the big boys that you know out there are all powered by us. So if you have bought Starlink, the possibility that you have used Maplerad card to do online transaction is about 70%, you get. So we're encouraging you, if you have a startup, just plug into us. Let's provide this as well. Alongside with our Naira account, so we have we've partnered with several banks. So if you are plugging into our API, we'll give you minimum of 3 accounts. Your users would have 3 Nigerian bank account as their pay-in. It's just beautiful. So at no point do we experience any downtime because we do always have alternatives. So for instance, if one of the banks is down, you are sure that 3 or 4 of the other banks that have been given to your users are active. Next slide, please. All right, so as I mentioned, we have all of these multi-currency wallet on our APIs, and you can always convert from any of them. And this is what the conversion looks like. So you can convert from a USD to Naira, you can convert from Naira to Ghana, and convert to any of these wallets. So for instance, use case for you, basically as a Nigerian, is that you're in Nigeria, so you would do your transfer to the Nigerian wallet and convert from the Nigeria to, let's say, Gabon. If you are traveling to Gabon on vacation, I think people travel to Kenya more. So let's use Kenya. So if you're traveling to Kenya for vacation, all you need to do is fund your Naira wallet. As I said, you have 3 accounts attached to the Naira wallet that you can use to transfer into it. Then convert from the Naira to Kenya. Then when you get to Kenya, all you need to do is to pay for your bills, pay for your hotel, restaurants by doing your normal transfer. It's just how NIP works in Nigeria, where you open your bank app and do transfer. That is exactly how it works. You go to Kenya and do transfer from your Kenya wallet to anybody in Kenya. And that's exactly how all of these wallets work as well. Next slide. All right. So as I said, we are an infrastructure provider, basically. We created a consumer app called WirePay. So users or startups can have an experience of, or a mirror experience of what this API does. So WirePay is our consumer app, and it's allow you to have an experience of what the API at Maplerad is. And what I'm saying is you can go to your App Store or Google Store and download WirePay, so you can see in real life what all of these things that I've said, all of the virtual wallet, virtual cards, and cross-border transfer. You can see it in real life, how it works on the app. So what we are going to do is the first 30 people to download the app and can register. Our stand is at the entrance. Just go there and show any of my colleagues that you have downloaded and you have registered. You get a branded souvenir for you. I mean, I think we still do have, we have mugs and hoodies, yes. So we have more. So just first, do we have 50? Okay, first 50 people to do that, you have a gift. Can you go to the next slide so I can wrap up, please? All right, next one, please. So basically, everything I've said is that you can do with your Maplerad API. It's the same thing you can also do with your WirePay app. WirePay is, as I said, consumer app for Maplerad, so you can do your cross-border transactions, virtual card as well. Virtual card can be used on all platforms. I mean, Netflix, any platform literally. And interestingly, we also recently introduced the cash pickup transfer. So what that means is if you are outside Nigeria and you want to transfer to someone in Nigeria with cash, you can initiate a cash pickup. They'll walk up to the bank and pick up dollars, our partner banks, really. So I think that will be all. Thank you, everyone. Again, if you are interested in signing up on Maplerad and using our API, meet us at the stand or check the website www.maplerad.com. If you have also downloaded the app and you've registered, meet us at the stand as well. We are going to give you your souvenir. Thank you, everyone.
All right, rounding. I think you are one of the fastest so far, so we're going to keep that.
If your product works, you don't need to say too much.
All right, thank you very much, Ifeanyi.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll keep it going with Fintech, right?